LeBron James still remains a free agent, and rumors about him possibly joining the 76ers have been floating around. So today I've placed LeBron on the Philadelphia 76ers to see if this team could win a championship. And I feel like with the addition of LeBron, this team instantly becomes championship contenders. We definitely have ourselves one of the best starting lineups in the entire NBA with VJ Edgecombe, LeBron, Embiid, Maxey, and Jaylen Brown. And don't forget about the bench unit. The 76ers also signed Anthony Simons and Dean Wade in free agency. We will be starting off in the beginning of the 26-27 season, and this here is our 9-man rotation. So in our starting lineup, we've gotten ourselves Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, and Joel Embiid. Off the bench, we have Anthony Simons, Dean Wade, Adam Bonner, and Justin Edwards. And in the process, I will be rebuilding the 76ers, pulling off trades as I see fit to build a perfect team that could go out there and win a championship. But now let's get simulating in the first game. Okay, so it's up against the Celtics, the same team we acquired Jaylen Brown from. Let's see how things go here in game 1. We do end up losing 126-106, but I guess chemistry still does need to be built. We have ourselves a completely new starting lineup. Game 2 is also a loss. What about game 3? Thankfully, we win one game against the Clippers. Embiid had himself a 31-point triple-double, 27 Brown, and 19 from Anthony Simons. And starting out this season, we are rolling on a 4.5-star overall system proficiency, pace and space under our head coach, Nick Nurse. And now I'm going to go ahead and simulate until the end of this season, but before that, I would really appreciate it if y'all could hit that subscribe button, like the video, and hype the video. All 3 buttons are free, and it truly does support out the channel a ton. We are aiming for 10,000 subscribers this summer. Now, I have some very good news for us. Our team has made it to the NBA Cup Finals, and we are taking on the Houston Rockets. Let's see if we can go out there and win ourselves the NBA Cup. The Rockets will have home court advantage on their side, but we start off the first quarter and first half very strong, and we go on to win 137-96. LeBron going off with 27 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists, 25 and 12 from VJ Edgecombe, 20 and 10 from Tyrese Maxey. And LeBron James goes on to win NBA Cup MVP, averaging 23, 7, and 7. Let's go. We've stopped here at the trade deadline, and currently our team is a number 2 seed with 37 wins and 11 losses, but there is still a position that I would like to upgrade, and that's the backup power forward position. Dean Wade hasn't been shooting the ball all that well, 32% from the 3-point line and 41 from the field, so I'm going to throw him in Trade Finder and see who we could bring in to be the brand new backup power forward. We are targeting Taylor Hendricks from the Memphis Grizzlies. I feel like he has potential. He'll probably end up progressing this offseason as well. So will the Memphis Grizzlies accept this trade straight up for Dean Wade? Let's see. They do give us a counteroffer. They want Johnny Broom, 2nd round pick for AJ Johnson. You know what? Let's go ahead and pull off this trade. I did forget to let you all know that the CPU automatically signed ourselves Ben Simmons in the offseason, so we have ourselves Ben Simmons on this team. Yeah, he's not a part of the rotation, but we could always make him a part of it in the future. I just thought that was pretty cool and wanted to let you all know. We're stopped here on contract extension day, and a few players would like to sign extensions. Joel Embiid we already have for the next few seasons, so we don't really need to extend him right now, but Adam Bonner will go ahead and offer a 2-year deal to paying him about $4.25 million, which he goes on to accept. I believe that will be it, so let's go ahead and continue with the simulation. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win his first ever MVP, Cam Boozer Rookie of the Year, Damian Lillard 6-man, Wemby Defensive Player, Grady Dick Most Improved, Luka Doncic Clutch Player, and our head coach Nick Nurse wins Coach of the Year, and we also go on to win Executive of the Year. And now let's see if we get ourselves any All-NBA selections here. Will we get anyone? And we don't get a single player on an All-NBA team, which is kind of a surprise, but it is what it is. I mean, we had so many good offensive players that there's not really a player on our teams averaging about 30 points per game. So maybe that's why, and we don't get anybody on an all-defensive team either. But none of that matters because we ended this season as the number 1 seed, winning a total of 65 games and losing only 17. So despite none of our players getting any awards, none of that really mattered because we ended this season winning 65 games. We were absolutely unstoppable. And now let's take a look at player stats before we start simulating in the playoffs. So actually Tyrese Maxey was averaging 24 points per game, and I could have seen him on an All-NBA team, but it is what it is. 24 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists with 2 steals and 1 block. Jaylen Brown was averaging 21 points per game, 19 from VJ Edgecombe. Whoa, I did not realize VJ Edgecombe was doing this good. 19 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists on 50, 40, 85 shooting splits. Joel Embiid with 18 points and almost 10 rebounds. LeBron had an amazing season. Even though he wasn't out there averaging 20 points per game, he still did his thing all around. 17 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, half a block on 50, 40, 70 shooting splits. And then our sixth man, Anthony Simons, did his thing, 13 points per game on 50, 40, 90 shooting splits. But now it's time for the playoffs. Well, actually, I do want to also take a look at our team stats, and I'm probably sure you guys do as well. So we did have ourselves the best offensive rating with the second best defensive rating and the best point differential in the entire NBA. We were making about 13 3-pointers a game, and now it's time for the playoffs. And in the first round, we are taking on the Charlotte Hornets. They have themselves Kobe White, Con Knappel, Brennan Miller, Naz Reid, and Ryan Kalkbrenner. Now, I am glad we traded for Taylor Hendricks when we did, because bro's shooting splits have been amazing. Even though he's not playing all that many minutes for us, he's shooting 49% from the 3-point line and 53% from the field, much better than Dean Wade ever was. And now let's get to simulating and see how our team does here in the first round. Game number 1, we actually end up losing 140 to 137. I mean, LeBron played amazing, so did our entire starting lineup, but our defense was awful. Game number 2, we do end up securing the win, 136 to 113. That's what I'm talking about. Embiid with a 30-point double-double, and LeBron, let's go, 20 points, 13 rebounds, and 13 assists, still dropping triple-doubles, even though he's 42 years old. Game number 3, we also end up winning, well, I'll say 42 years young, because LeBron James, it seems like he doesn't really age all that much, does he? But game number 3, we end up winning 153 to 104. Tyrese Maxey dropping 30, VJ Edgecombe with a 24-point double-double, LeBron 21, JB with 24. And that does put us up 2-1. Can we also go on to win game 4 here? And yes, we can. Joel Embiid with 34 and 14, 23 JB, and a 23-point double-double from LeBron. Let's see if we can close things out. So we do end up eliminating the Charlotte Hornets here in game 5. Where Embiid had 24, 23 Edgecombe, and 21 from LeBron. I do want to see how our players are doing here so far. So Maxey is averaging 22 points per game with 8 assists throughout the first round, 20 from VJ Edgecombe, 22 from Jaylen Brown. LeBron has, I believe, been one. Okay, so our second leading scorer has been LeBron, 23 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. Joel Embiid has been the leading scorer, averaging 26 points with 10 rebounds. Amazing first round from our, I'll call it a big 5, honestly. This is not a big 3, this is most definitely a big 5. So our big 5 continues dominating throughout the first round of the playoffs. And now in the second round, we are taking on LeBron James's former team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. They have themselves James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Tyson, Evan Mobley, and Jarrett Allen, and this here is their bench unit. But let's see how things go here. Game number 1, we do secure the win. Edgecombe 29, 28 Maxey, 28 and 15 from Joel Embiid, LeBron with a 25-point double-double. Game number 2, we do fall short, 146 to 135. I have noticed in a lot of games in the playoffs so far, our defense is something we're definitely going to have to try and upgrade this coming off season, because so far we're allowing teams to score a lot of points on us. Game 3, we thankfully secure the win, 119-106. LeBron leading the way with 29 points, and Embiid with a 20-point double-double. Game number 4, they do tie up the series, 125 to 113. JB played amazing, so did Maxey and LeBron, but sadly we do end up losing. I have come up with a defensive coach game plan. The series is tied at 2-2 apiece. Let's jump into Simcast here and see if we could win here in game 5. We do have home court advantage on our side, and so far in the first half we are winning, but they take the lead, and it looks like we do end up losing 111 to 102. JB 23, 19 Maxey, and 16 Embiid. And because of that loss, we do fall in a winner-go-home situation. We have to win this game to push it to a game 7. Let's jump into Simcast where the Cavs have home court advantage. And so far we do have the lead. Can we keep it is a question. And 1 minute remaining. It looks like we do end up winning 124 to 111. Maxey 33, 9 and 9, 22 from JB, LeBron with 16, 6 and 7. And now it's time for game 7, series tied at 3-3. Can we get the win here against the Cavs? Let's see. Thankfully, we do have home court advantage on our side. And so far, the Cavs do have the lead. We take it right back from them. And we are only up by 1 point. We're starting to run away with it. Okay, yeah, we got this. We're up by a bunch, almost 30 points, and we end up winning 135 to 109. JB 30, 27 Edgecombe, and 23 from Maxey. Amazing game from our team. And now we've made the Eastern Conference Finals. It looks like we are taking on the Pistons. And they have themselves Cade Cunningham, Joe, Asar Thompson, John Collins, and Jalen Duren. And so far here in the playoffs, Maxey is averaging 23 points, 18 from Edgecombe, 21 JB, 20 from LeBron, and 21 from Joel Embiid. In the Western Conference Finals, whoa, how did the Sacramento Kings make it all the way to the Western Conference Finals? This is the first time I've ever seen the Sacramento Kings make it this far in a 2K simulation. And somehow they defeated Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs. And look at this team. They have 3 players, 70 overall. Well, you could basically say Jonathan Kuminga is barely an 80 overall. So with Sabonis, somehow this team defeated the San Antonio Spurs, Golden State Warriors, and now they're taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder here in the conference finals. Again, that's just mind-boggling because I've never seen this team make it this far, but now let's see how we do here in the Eastern Conference Finals. Game number 1, we do secure the win. Maxey 24, JB 24, and 20 from Simons. Game number 2, we do fall short. Maxey played amazing, so did JB and LeBron, but sadly we do end up losing by 8 points. In game 3, we will secure the win. Let's go. Maxey 36, 26 JB, and 24-point double-double from LeBron, and somehow the Kings got a win against the OKC Thunder as well. I'm surprised by how they're even making it this far. Game number 4, the series is tied 2-2 apiece, 134-131 we end up losing. Maxey played good, so did LeBron, but what I'm going to do now is come up with a defensive coach game plan for Cade Cunningham, because this man is always unstoppable in 2K. So let me see which player. I think JB would be the best player to have guarding Cade Cunningham, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Come up with a little coach game plan. Let's see if that's going to help us win here in game 5. Series tied at 2-2 apiece. We do have home court advantage. We start off the first half very strong, but they are starting to push back here. Never mind. We end up winning 129-97. JB 28, Edgecombe 20, and 18 from Maxey. LeBron had himself a 14-point triple-double. That's what I'm talking about here. Can we also win the next game to advance to the NBA Finals? Let's see. The Pistons do have the lead here by a ton. Can we come back? And yes, we can. Whoa, we come back in the second half to defeat the Pistons 119-108. Maxey 36, Embiid with 26, 24 Edgecombe, and LeBron had himself, well, he didn't play all that good here, but he still had himself 9 assists. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander goes on to win Western Conference Finals MVP. Joel Embiid, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Let's go. And that means we are taking on the OKC Thunder here in the NBA Finals, and they have themselves Shai, Cason Wallace, J-Dub, Chet Holmgren, and Isaiah Hartenstein. This series is definitely going to be a tough one, but let's see if we could go on to win our Big 5 a championship. I want to win LeBron a championship here with the 76ers. Game 1, we do end up losing. Whoa, they scored 163 points. Our defense was awful. Game number 2, oh god, we also end up losing game 2, allowing them to score 143 points. And now I need to come up with a defensive coach game plan ASAP. We have now come up with a defensive coach game plan, and I feel like now this is going to help out our team a ton since the defense will be a little bit more well balanced. Let's see if that's going to help us win these next few games. We will jump into Simcast. In game 3, the Thunder have home court advantage. And so far, they do have the lead still. They are up by about 3 points. Can we come back? And yes, we can. And we're trying to run away with it. Let's go. We end up winning 134-121. Tyrese Maxey 28, 27 JB, and a 17-point double-double from Embiid, and a 16-point double-double from LeBron. And now the series is at 2-1. We will continue jumping into Simcast basically for every game here in the NBA Finals. And let's go. We start off this first half really strong, and we score 165 points. LeBron dropping a 41-point double-double, 34 Maxey, 28 JB, and 21 from Embiid. Now the series is tied at 2-2 apiece. Let's see if we can go up 3-2. We will have home court advantage here for game 5, and we start off the first quarter with the lead, the first half with the lead. It looks like we are going to win 136-111. The defensive coach game plan has been working so far. JB 31, 25 Maxey, and 24 from LeBron. And now, for this next game, the Thunder have home court advantage, but we have the lead here, and it looks like we're on the road to a championship, and we end up winning 145-120. JB with a 38-point double-double, LeBron with a 16-point double-double. Bro really had 17 assists with only 2 turnovers. Let's go. And 27 from Maxey. That was an amazing comeback from our team, and just like that, we go on to win the Philadelphia 76ers a championship with Jaylen Brown winning Finals MVP, averaging 33 points per game on 65, 56, 74 shooting splits. Of course, we are not done just there. We're going to go for a back-to-back championship, which I really think our team could do. If we upgrade our bench unit a little more, I think next season we could definitely win ourselves a back-to-back championship. But let me show you guys the player stats here for the playoffs before we go into the off-season. So in the playoffs, we played a total of 24 games, and in those 24 games, JB was the leading scorer with 25, 25 Maxey, 20 and 11 from Joel Embiid. And then we had LeBron James going off here, averaging 20 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, 9.5 assists, 1 steal, and half a block per game. Let's take a look at his shooting split. So he was playing amazing, 57% from the field and 40% from the three-point line. And mind you, he's 42 years young doing all of this. We do have ourselves 2 second-round picks in the 2027 NBA draft. What we're going to do is draft ourselves the highest overall players because we're going to trade them away this offseason. We don't have much time here to be developing young rookies. LeBron James is 42 years old. He's already tried to retire this offseason, so we only have 1 more year with him, which means we got to do everything in order to make our roster better. The first overall pick the Pelicans have, and they take Christian Collins. The OKC Thunder with a second overall pick. Let's see what they do. They take Tyrone Stokes. Whoa. Imagine Tyrone Stokes, Chet Holmgren, J-Dub, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That is going to be an unstoppable team there. The Celtics with the third overall pick take Jordan Smith Jr. Now let's simulate to our pick here and see who we can select. And there is Victor Wembanyama's brother, Oscar Wembanyama. I feel like it would be pretty cool if the Spurs take Oscar Wembanyama. What we are going to do is draft ourselves this dude here, Jason Crowder Jr. He has himself an all-star ceiling, and he's only 18 years old. So let's go ahead and draft him here with our second round pick. We still have ourselves another pick here, and I'm just going to go ahead and draft this dude here, Wally McCarty. I believe he's the highest overall player. And that will be it for the 2027 NBA draft. Wally McCarty is way too low of an overall. He's only a 62 overall, so he's not going to have any trade value whatsoever, which means we're not going to sign him, but we will sign this dude here, Jason Crowder Jr., who should have somewhat of a trade value. And for team player options, of course, we are going to pick up the team option for VJ Edgecombe, Justin Edwards, but we don't need AJ Johnson, so we will let him walk. Qualifying offers, from the looks of things, it looks like we don't need to re-sign anybody here in free agency. And never mind, we do need to re-sign ourselves Taylor Hendricks. And this offseason, our main priority is making our team's defense better. We've seen how our team's defense was in the playoffs in the first few rounds. We were allowing teams to score a lot of points on us. So if there's anything I want to upgrade, it's our defense. For the backup center position, I was looking for a new center, but there's not really anyone here that I'm a big fan of. For the power forward, we are going to try and sign ourselves Draymond Green, amazing defensive player. We will also bring back Taylor Hendricks. We do have bird rights on him, so we'll offer him a 3-year deal, paying him about $4 million annually. So it looks like we sign ourselves Draymond Green on a 2-year, $9.5 million contract. We also get Taylor Hendricks on a 3-year, $13 million contract. The Phoenix Suns did attempt to trade us Dillon Brooks in the regular season. At that time I declined, but now we're going to reignite those trade talks. Dillon Brooks is an amazing defender, could come off the bench unit, provide our team with offense and defense. We are most likely going to have to throw in Draymond Green's $5 million contract, the same with LeBron Malone Jr. Would this both get it done? Let's see here, and they do decline, but I will go ahead and throw in a bunch of second-round picks. 3 second-round picks gets it done, and we land ourselves Dillon Brooks. Let's go. We are still able to sign some players, some pretty good players here in free agency. I think we're going to go and target Alex Caruso. Having him come off the bench unit will definitely make our team's defense better, so let's go ahead and offer him a 2-year deal on a minimum, which is all he wants, and he goes on to accept on a 2-year, $5 million contract. I would still like to upgrade our backup center position, and I feel like Yves Missi could be that perfect backup center. He's an amazing offensive rebounder, he can defend, and last season we were a struggling offensive rebounding team, so he should be able to help as a backup center. I'm going to go ahead and offer the Pelicans Adam Bonner and Nick Richards for Missi, which they do decline. What if we throw in another player like Jason Crowder Jr., the player we drafted, and just like that, we bring in Yves Missi as a brand new backup center. Alrighty, here we are at the start of this season with our 9-man rotation. In our starting lineup, we currently have Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, and Joel Embiid. Off the bench, we have Dillon Brooks, Anthony Simons, Yves Missi, and Alex Caruso. There was a lot of regression from our players, especially from Joel Embiid and LeBron James, but thankfully VG Edgecombe basically made up for that by jumping up to a 90 overall. And now let's simulate the first few games of this season to see how we do. The first game is up against the Heat, who we end up defeating 133 to 115. Jaylen Brown 34, and okay, LeBron James, despite his regression, he still has himself a 31-point triple-double in the first game of this season. LeBron James really just said the overall drop does not matter, I'm still going to go out there and hoop and drop a 31-point triple-double. The next game is up against the Magic, who we also defeat once again, 131 to 117, JB 39, 25 Simons in only 18 minutes, 21 Maxey, and 13 from LeBron. And just like last season, we are rolling with a 4.5-star overall system proficiency balanced under our head coach Nick Nurse. And now I'm going to go ahead and simulate until the end of this season, but you guys already know if there are any trades to be made, I will be stopping here at the trade deadline to show you all. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win a back-to-back MVP, Chris Knack Jr. Rookie of the Year, DeJounte Murray 6-man, Wemby Defensive Player Darren Peterson Most Improved, Cooper Flag Clutch Player Nick Nurse, our head coach, goes on to win Coach of the Year, and the Spurs go on to win Executive of the Year. And now let's see if we get ourselves any All-NBA selections. We definitely deserve some, unlike last year where we did not get a single All-NBA selection. There we go. We land ourselves Jaylen Brown on an All-NBA third team. Do we get anybody here on an all-defensive team? And it looks like we don't, but again, none of that really matters because we dominated the NBA as the #1 seed, winning a total of 71 games and losing only 11. So this season we did even better than we did last season, and last season our team was pretty unstoppable. But now let me show you guys the player and team stats here before we jump into the playoffs. So in the regular season, our leading scorer was Jaylen Brown, averaging 25, 6, and 4. 22 and 6 from Maxey, 18 Embiid, 16 Edgecombe, 15, 5, and 7 from LeBron with 1 steal and half a block per game. 10 Dillon Brooks and 10 from Simons. We had ourselves a bunch of players in double-digit scoring, and I mean the fact that LeBron is still shooting 51% from the field at 43 years old, putting up these numbers is very impressive. And now let's take a look at team stats here and see how we did. So the offensive rating, we had ourselves the 6th best offensive rating with the 2nd best defensive rating and the #1 best point differential. And now comes time for the playoffs. In the first round, we are taking on the Washington Wizards. They have themselves Trae Young, Bilal Coulibaly, AJ Debonsa, Anthony Davis, and Alex Sarge. So it's LeBron James taking on his former pal Anthony Davis. Let's see how things go here. Game #1. Whoa, we just ended up losing to the Washington Wizards, 114 to 103. LeBron played good, so did JB, but we do fall short. What about game 2? We do end up winning here in game 2, 144 to 111, outscoring them by more than 30 points. Embiid had himself a 34-point double-double, JB with a 29-point double-double, LeBron with 10.6 rebounds and 9 assists. Game #3, we also secure the win, Embiid 33, 32 from JB, and a double-double from Maxey. Game #4, we end up winning, and we go on a gentleman sweep the Washington Wizards. In Game 5, Maxey had 27, LeBron with 22, 10, and 8. That means we do advance to the second round of the playoffs. Let's see how our team stats have been looking. So Maxey so far is averaging 21 points per game, 14 Edgecombe, 24 Jaylen Brown, 16 LeBron, and 25 from Joel Embiid. And now in the second round of the playoffs, we are taking on the Atlanta Hawks, and they have themselves Dyson Daniels, Nickel, Zachary Risache, Jalen Johnson, and Okongwu, and this here is their bench unit. So let's see how things go here. Game #1, we do end up losing by 1 single point. Holy, 27 JB, 20 and 12 from LeBron, but sadly we do fall short. Thankfully we bounce right back and winning game #2, 129 to 120. JB 25, LeBron had himself 22, and Embiid with 23. Game #3, we also end up winning, and for some reason my controller has been glitching these last few videos. I'm not sure why that's the case, maybe I need to look into that, but JB had himself 39 points, 24 Embiid, and 21 from Edgecombe. And the fact that Jaylen Brown had 39 points without hitting a single three-pointer is pretty impressive, but we are up 2-1, and they tie up the series, and now it's back to 2-2. 21, 9, and 11 from LeBron, 1 rebound shy of a triple-double, but we do end up falling short here. Let's jump into Simcast for Game 5. We do have home court advantage on our side, and so far we have the lead here by quite a bit, and we go on to win 120 to 103. Edgecombe 24 and 18 from JB. And now all we have to do is win one more game, and then we're going to the Eastern Conference Finals. The Hawks will have home court advantage here for this next game, and we scored 50. Whoa. We scored 92 points in the first half. In the first quarter, we scored 51, second quarter 41, total of 92 points. That is huge. We end up winning 138 to 113. Maxey 37, 33 JB, and 22 from Embiid. And that means we do end up going to the Eastern Conference Finals, where we are taking on the Chicago Bulls, who ended this season as the number 2 seed. Okay, so they have themselves Rob Dillingham, Norman Powell, Matej Buzelis, Caleb Wilson, and Jalen Duren. In the Western Conference Finals, we have ourselves the OKC Thunder taking on the Dallas Mavericks. I do want to do a little quick rundown of our players' points per game. 20 from Maxey, 14 Edgecombe, 24 JB, and 16 from LeBron. Okay, but now let's see how we do here in the Eastern Conference Finals. Game number 1, we do end up winning. Maxey 29, 22 from JB. Can we also win game 2? And yes, we can. Game 3, we end up winning as well, and we go on to sweep the Chicago Bulls, winning here in game 4, 119 to 110, where Embiid had himself a 25-point double-double. And that means we do make the NBA Finals for the second year in a row, where we're either going to have to take on the Oklahoma City Thunder or the Dallas Mavericks, and it will be Cooper Flagg and the Mavericks. Cooper Flagg winning Western Conference Finals MVP. Bro was averaging 36 points per game. Jaylen Brown, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, averaging 26, 6, and 4. And now it is time for the NBA Finals. The Dallas Mavericks are always a very difficult team, especially because of Cooper Flagg and his amazing offense. Bro is averaging 34 points per game here in the NBA playoffs. Let's see how things go. Game number 1, thankfully we secure the win. JB with 39. He said to Cooper, you know what, I'm going to one-up you and drop more points than you do, which is exactly what he did in less time. 21 LeBron and 13 from Maxey. Can we also go on to win game 2? And yes, we can. JB, let's go, dropping 41, 10, and 3 with 2 steals on Cooper Flagg. And now we are up 2-0. Can we make this 3-0? Let's see. And yes, we can. That is what I'm talking about. Cooper played amazing, but LeBron James did even better. 33 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists. 29 Edgecombe, 25 Maxey, and 21 from JB, and now we are up 3-1. All we have to do is win one more game and we win ourselves a back-to-back championship. The Mavericks do have home court advantage. Let's jump into Simcast and see what happens. And we go on to win 110 to 100 to win a back-to-back championship, and LeBron led the way here with 19 points, 17 Edgecombe, and 16 from Maxey. Let's go. And just like that, we win the Philadelphia 76ers a back-to-back championship, with Jaylen Brown winning Finals MVP, averaging 28 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, half a block on 60, 40, 78 shooting splits. I was planning on showing you all the playoff stats for our team players, but I accidentally clicked into the off-season, and now we're not able to check the stats. But you know what? That's okay. We completed the goal of winning the 76ers not only one championship, but a total of 2 championships with LeBron James. And now LeBron could retire with a total of 6 championships and ride out into the sunset. That is going to be it for today. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K26 rebuilds, and click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.